Today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch, obviously, but before we do that, I would just like to offer some support to the voice actors who went on strike a few days ago. This is all a long tale from their initial Performance Matters hashtag movement campaign thing. That sounded dismissive, it's just I didn't know quite what to call it. But anyway, it's resulted in a strike, a proper union strike and all that stuff. And good for them. Good on them. Obviously, given the stuff I've said about voice actors in past episodes, clearly I'd be behind this 100%. And to the developers who have been complaining about it by saying things like, well, I don't see why voice actors feel like they deserve more than us game developers. You can have one of those. Not because I don't think you don't deserve to be paid more, but because of your zero-sum attitude where you feel like them wanting more comes at your expense. And let me just explain that the voice actors do not think they deserve more than you as game developers. They're probably not thinking about you at all because they've got their own union with their own benefit and are trying to get better treatment. They're trying to get paid what they deserve. And I agree, you deserve to be paid more than a voice actor. But if them getting paid what they deserve is more than what you're making, that says a lot more about the situation you're in than the situation the voice actors want. And maybe you should be talking to the people who benefit from a situation where you're treated like shit and get paid similar. Maybe look at the system in place that's not giving you benefits and treating you like crap, rather than have a go at some people who have the skills and the means and the resources to, maybe not be treated like crap anymore. So just think about that. Don't go sniping at other people who are being trodden on by the same boot. Maybe snap at the boot. Now let's talk about the Switch, because obviously we were going to do that this week. After months of keeping us dangling by our chunguses, Nintendo finally revealed its plans for a successor to the soon-to-be totally forgotten Wii U, the Nintendo Switch. A brand new device that might actually be somewhat powerful, the Switch is basically a transformer that can be used as both a home console and a portable system, with a versatile controller that starts out like a fairly traditional one at home, then bolts onto each side of the Switch's portable screen like a PS Vita or something, but can also be split off and held as two separate portions for shits and giggles, or to be used by two different people as if they were miniature NES controllers. Well, that's fun. At this stage, very little is known about the Switch other than the basic elevator pitch and the fact it actually has a decent name this time. Shut up, I like it. But of course, the world of games media needs more hot takes than hot dinners, and therefore we all must scramble to provide our opinions and our predictions and our hashtag-friendly editorials. And I'm no different. With only scant info so far, we can only really look at the marketing. But given Nintendo's past slip-ups in the sales pitch department, there are some telling things we can glean just from the Switch's teaser video. Chiefly, we can see that Nintendo seems to actually know what it's doing this time around when it comes to selling a console, providing a clear and simple message that says a heck of a lot over the course of a simple 3-minute video. One of the major failings of the Wii U was miscommunication. This is something Nintendo itself has admitted, with the likes of Shigeru Miyamoto himself throwing his hands up and confessing that they did a poor job telling people what the Wii U was and did. One analyst went so far as to call Nintendo of America's performance a disaster on almost every level. DFC Intelligence's David Cole saying they forgot marketing 101 with their tablet/waggle/console/Wii successor/totally not a Wii successor console. The Wii U's announcement and subsequent marketing campaign left people confused. With its uninformative name and unclear intent, mass market customers just didn't know what the thing was exactly. Was it a successor to the Wii? A replacement? An add-on? Did it just consist of a controller? And could that controller be used with the Wii? Or was it its own system? A lot of these questions were reported anecdotally, but they emphasized what we all could tell. The one clear thing about the Wii U was that Nintendo wasn't making clear what the fucking thing did. Of course, we all know what it is now, and later explanations would clarify the machine's function, but it needed more explanation than anything else because it was trying to do a lot of things and none of them were immediately apparent. We knew it had a controller with a screen on it. Okay, cool. What else does it do, and why is it better than Wii Sports? Outside of one shot of someone using the gamepad to play golf, which, by the way, is something I don't think ever actually happened in... Did that ever actually happen in real life? I don't recall it being a real thing. Anyway, outside of that, very little was immediately visually understandable about the thing. When we contrast the advertising of the Wii U to the advertising of the Wii, it's really easy to see how the former failed while the latter was a massive worldwide phenomenon. The crucial thing the Wii had over the Wii U is that you could take one look at it and immediately understand what it was about. It takes me a second to watch someone use a Wii remote to play tennis before it clicks. The motion control was so simple that all you had to do was show it in action and the audience's visual recognition did the rest. Consequently, this is doubtless part of the reason why the Wii continued to dominate in the face of also-ran attempts by Sony and Microsoft. The PS Move and Kinect both tried to up the ante, but in doing so they provided more complex, less visually apparent devices that needed more communication to explain and took longer to click with the average customer. With a little white stick and some simplistic tennis, Nintendo's Wii remained a hit because literally any idiot could understand what was going on. Not just intuitive to play, intuitive to look at. Now, the Nintendo Switch is doubtless more complicated than the Wii, but that elegance in visual design is apparent where the Wii U sorely lacked it. One notable thing about the Switch's premiere trailer is that there are no words used outside of the lyrics in its backing music. There's no voiceover narrating what it does. There's no text pointing out its features. Yet we all know exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, it's not as immediate as the Wii, but the Switch's one big gag is still visually clear, and it takes only a few simple shots to get the point across. As we go through the trailer, everything is clear as soon as it's shown. We have this asshole playing Zelda at home before his dog gets on his case for not having a job, so he pulls the controller apart and slots it into the device before pulling out a screen. Voila, we now know it's a transformer that allows you to misuse public property by putting your dog shit covered shoes on the seating part of a park bench. But is this a full portable, or do you need it to stay linked to the home console? Nintendo immediately answers that question by cutting to this pair of wankers at an airport, optically communicating that you can use it portably anywhere in the world. Once on the plane, Wanker reveals the system's versatility by revealing the kickstand and the wireless controller function, letting us know that this thing will work in multiple travel situations. For emphasis, another shot of the Switch becoming a home console makes it clear that this is an all-in-one device. Look at these fucking knobs on a road trip using the split controller to play Mario Kart together locally. Once again, it's apparent from the offset what's going on, and the prior reinforcement shot we had keeps it clear it's all part of one system. And just to let you know how good it is, Nintendo shows us these basketball jackasses stopping playing basketball in real so they can play basketball in video games, using two devices to double their multiplayer fun like you would with 3DS wireless communication. Are you trying to play a totally unannounced Mario game but your prick fucking friends keep pestering you to come to an inane rooftop party? No problem, dickhead! Just slot your controller into the screen and bring it with your Amelie looking ass so you can fulfill your social contract and leave at least one woman looking totally unimpressed. Don't forget to sync up a whole bunch of Switches so you and Cara Ellison can prepare for the massive Splatoon match that for some reason is hosted in the kind of arena usually reserved for UFC fights.
Nintendo Switch!
Oh, I guess the trailer does have some words in it after all. Anyway, the whole point is that while the Nintendo Switch is clearly trying to do many things and offer a shovel load of functionality, it's not confusing at all. In a mere 3 minutes and 36 seconds, Nintendo said more about the Switch than it could with months of advertising for the Wii U. This does not mean the system will be successful, of course. Jim Sterling's Corey Feldman suppository buddy is very clearly communicated as a product too, but that hasn't seen it flying off the shelves. It's a good start though. A better start than Nintendo gave its last console. There are questions hanging in the air about the Switch, chief among them being the battery life for its portable form. Also, despite how hyped everybody's getting about the machine, I'd still urge caution. A big deal's being made about Skyrim appearing on the system, but that's really only a damning statement about Nintendo's past machines that we're meant to be impressed over a Switch running a 3-year-old game. Folks are also bigging up that huge list of third-party publishers who are on board with the Switch, but Nintendo had a similar list for the Wii U as well. Remember how on board Ubisoft, EA and Activision were meant to be with the Wii U? Remember how that turned out? Yeah. Pledges of third-party support mean nothing at this stage. Hell, publishers pledging anything at any stage usually means fuck all. These aren't suggestions that the Switch will fail, just a reminder not to get hyped up about shit because there's no point building yourself up for a disappointment. For my part, I can say I really dig the idea, I like the look of the Switch a lot, and I do hope it does well. And to say it again, I think the announcement was a really good start and an indicator that Nintendo's gotten back on the ball as far as selling its product is concerned. And straggle me while I come, but I really did like the Wii U, you know? We may as well talk about it in the past tense now, people were doing that months ago anyway. I just feel bad it turned out the way it did, right? Because I had a lot of fun with the thing when games actually happened to it. Games that weren't fucking Star Fox Zero anyway. I think I'm gonna go mourn it for a bit before I quickly forget it. I do hope the Switch can succeed where the Wii U failed though, and I gotta say, it's already started doing so before we even know how much it costs. That'll about do it for this week. I do hope that Nintendo can break the chains of failure that seem to have wrapped themselves around the Wii U. As for me, the only chains I'll be breaking are the chains of love. Fuck your content ID, Nintendo.
Here's a TV that looks like an